Should coffee dates be considered low effort or only reserved for those who are trying to save a buck? Let's discuss. In the world where dating meets finances, one hot topic is how to assess what shows effort versus what's indicative of red flags. When dating, each side is trying to quickly weed out what they would consider incompatible for them. Like our very human nature and instinct has taught us over time, we have to use easy signals to be able to spot patterns to prevent us from having to live in the assessment phase of dating for too long. So let's say you meet a guy online and you move to the point of meeting in person. And his suggestion is that you meet for coffee. So what do you read into this? It's clearly not the rom-com glamorous date at a 5-star restaurant where you get all dialed up. So what does that mean? So first, if you're meeting a guy online and this is your first date, it's fair for us to assume a few things. One, he's likely dating other people at this point as well, which means he might be meeting other women online and going on multiple dates. And this is not only monetarily expensive, as you add up the cost over multiple dates, but it's also time intensive as well. So we have to factor that in. Two, you don't know each other very well yet, and you're interested in getting to know one another. But for many, especially my fellow introverts, the thought of getting stuck at a multiple hour event, dinner or otherwise, with someone with whom you might not be a match can feel quite burdensome. A quick casual experience like a coffee meetup can actually be perfect for giving everyone, yourself included, an easy out if the sparks just aren't flying. And if they are, then possibly coffee turns into more, lunch, or maybe a second date at a later time. Okay, so what should you be looking for to indicate effort? First, assess future dates, not necessarily first dates. A super elaborate or expensive first date can actually be a red flag in and of itself. Again, this person doesn't know you yet. So at this point, it's a little more showboaty and a bit of a desperate attempt to impress. This can often be an indicator of poor spending habits or just general insecurity. Try not to put too much stock into dates 1 and 2, but consider what's being planned for date number 3. At this point, it should be an investment in you specifically. Someone has taken the time to get to know you and possibly curate something that's interesting to you specifically. Next, let's actually gauge effort by effort. You should gauge the amount of time put in and not necessarily the price tag. It takes far more creativity, care, and thought to, let's say, plan a picnic in the park or learn what you're interested in and curate an experience based on that than it does to book a reservation. And then lastly, assess his openness to feedback and willingness to communicate. If you decided you don't want coffee for whatever reason, maybe you're just simply not a coffee drinker, then just communicate that and share your preferred alternatives, ideally within the same price and time range. If he's willing to communicate and change the plans, that says a lot about his flexibility and willingness to compromise, and how he handles feedback, all of which are great characteristics for a future partner. Good luck.